Hey guys, it's Candy with Candy's Creations. We are going to make this kit with jam designs and supplies. So you're going to get in this kit. This is like a farmhouse everyday grapevine that you can use all year long. And this is really good that you could really use this as a multiple in your Etsy shop. So you're going to get an 18-inch oval grapevine. I love to work on ovals. And you're going to get 3 pieces of this ficus. You're going to get this gorgeous peony bush. And you're going to get this filler bush with pip berries. And you're going to get this filler bush with all the greens and the white blooms. I love this. You're also going to get 3 yards of this farm style 1.5-inch canvas black and white stripe. So that is really always a good staple to use for the farmhouse look. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. So let me put this over to the side, and I'm going to start filling in with my ficus. So the ficus comes in 3 different pieces. So it has these kind of shorter pieces and it has a long piece. So I'm going to go ahead and trim up, like we're going to cut that one off, we're going to cut this one off, and we're going to cut off this one. So and I'm going to lay them per likeness with the 2 small ones together and then the long one together. And I'm going to go ahead and just cut all 3 of those up. So we're going to just trim it down here at the bottom. I'm going to lay this long one with the long one and then the 2 small ones with these 2 small ones. And then we're going to do this with the 3rd one. So we got 3 pieces of the long. We might still cut up a little bit more of that, but I'm not sure. And then we're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 small pieces. So we'll go ahead and start working those. I'm going to just dip the ends in my glue pot. And then I'm going to start, you can work this side or you can work this side. You can really build out a grapevine any way you want, but I kind of always tend to build on my left side. So that's what we're going to go with. And I'm just going to kind of start here and just going to place it into the grapevine. And y'all, this 18-inch grapevine, it's going to grow big. Okay, so what I do is I always kind of just create my line. So we're going to go ahead and do this to the top. I'm dipping this in my glue pot, and we're just going to go here to the top like this. And so see, we're creating this line. I'm going to go ahead and take this other longer piece and I'm going to cut it in half. So now that we have our line going this way and this way, we got to fill out our line here. And I don't want to put this as a whole piece because it'll be like this, and that's kind of a little cray-cray. So we're going to cut it right here. And we're going to work the rest of the smaller pieces to, so I'm going to use the piece that has the pointy piece to kind of go ahead and be the part that's going to come out to the side. We're just going to kind of fill in and layer it up. So look, we got this going on. And then we're going to take this other piece. That was the other piece that we just cut in half, that larger piece. And I'm going to go on the inside. So this is the larger 3 pieces. So we cut these together, and then I cut the other longer piece in half and put the pointy part going that way, and then this was the other bottom piece of the longer one. All right, so now we have these pieces that we need to work in. There's 6 of these, so we're going to just dip the ends in the glue. I always use Gorilla Glue, a high temp glue pot. I use Surebonder. So we're just kind of starting to work this line to fill this out. We're just building a base. So we're going to go ahead and start this way. So we got the middle kind of going on. Now we got to fill these gaps down here at the bottom. So I'm going to just dip this in my glue pot. See, we're going to go this one that way. I like to bend my stems of my ficus too, so they're not super straight. We got 2 more pieces. We need to work this piece down here. See right here, this is all lonely down here by itself. We need to kind of go in right here. So we have 1 more piece. And it looks a little right here where it needs to be filled out. So we're going to do it that way. Gonna literally just kind of glue it right into that grapevine. So this is what we have. We got a greened up base, and now we're going to add some filler in there. So the first filler we'll go in with is, we'll do the pitberry filler. It's kind of like more wispy, so that's why I decided to go ahead. It's more wispy and airy, and that's why I went ahead and decided to go in with this one. So we're just going to cut it up. I'm just going to go ahead and see the pieces that stayed together. So I'm going to lay that one to the side. I'm going to lay this one to the side. This one to the side. These are the pieces that stayed together as I cut it up at the base. And then some did not stay together so well. So I am just going to take them and just add them together. To create my pick. Of the different elements that came off. So we have a little bit of this, a little bit of the pitberry, and a little bit of the wispy, and that seems to be what is coming together in the pick that stayed together. So I do have a pick machine. If you don't have a pick machine, you could use floral tape and the wooden floral picks. You just twist the wire around here, and then you just wrap it with the floral tape around the wire. Super easy to do. So I'm going to just lay that to the side and make this 1 more pick. I'm just going to gather what I have left here. I just gathered what was left. And I'm just going to make another pick. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and start working this one in. Dipping it in my glue. And I'm going to go ahead and just start filling out my windows. So when I say windows, I mean I'm just going to go ahead and see where I have the window here of this, where the ficus is. I'm going to start kind of just working in my windows. Trim this a little bit, it's kind of long. We're just going to work this all throughout the greened up base. Trim this a little bit. It's just where I tore it apart. I'm going to open this up and kind of go in the middle. This is the pick that we created with the floral pick machine. They all basically ended up looking the same. I'm just spreading them and sprinkling them all out. Some are a little bit fuller than others, but for the most part, they're all the same. See how we got it here? We're just kind of just spreading it all throughout on top of the ficus. This is the last one. So let's take a step back. Here's a couple of pieces. Pick on that to hold those last pieces together. I don't want to waste any. And we are going to see, and I think my eye automatically takes me to kind of right here. So that's where I'm going to put this. All right, so we're going to go in next with this filler bush. Just going to cut it all down at the bottom and work this on top of, we're just layering our greenery and such. All right, so these, they break off in really long pieces, so let me just lay them out. We will end up cutting some of them in half, but for the most part, we're gonna work our line from where we already started up here. Just kind of the windows of where we have this other pitberry filler bush. And then I'm gonna go to the bottom. This is a really long piece. Kind of be cautious of like the lengths that cut off. And this is like a really longer piece. So I'm gonna do it, elongate it from the bottom. Working it down here to the window between these pitberry ones. And so I had this one going that way. I do want some to come this way. So this is still super long. I'm going to open right here. I'm going to just put it right here. And I'm going to bend this to kind of go to the shape of my grapevine. So I have one down here, so that I have a piece here, a here, here. I need something coming this way, so I'm gonna still leave this one long. And then we'll cut the rest up and kind of work those in shorter. So we got 3 pieces left, and I'm just gonna cut it, and I'm gonna take it and cut it in half. So we got, so these 3 pieces will turn into 6 pieces. Now I'm just going to take these pieces, these smaller pieces, and I'm going to work the inner. And we'll work the outer over here. So we got 3 of these left. So we'll just come down here. Kind of, now that we're getting to the ending of it, we're going to add the flowers last and then the bow. Just kind of working in where we look like we need some filler. Definitely need some. This is the last piece. Just taking a step back, and I'm going to go ahead and go right here. I just kind of want to make sure that it's filled out all on the inner and the outer for the fullness of it. So let's cut up this last bush. And I always cut them longer rather than shorter. You can always take it off. You can't put it back. So I'd rather cut it longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these heads, peony heads. and you get 4 of these. I love these. Let's start working in. I always just push my leaves all the way to the end. I'm going to leave this one long, and we're going to continue where our line is. We're going to go to the top. So I'm gluing it right here, but I left my stem long, so it will poke up there. Well, now we're going to go to the bottom. Now I'm going to go out to the side. And I kind of bend my stems once I get them in there. I kind of bend my stems to make them not look super straight. So we're just I'm just working these all different directions, sprinkling them out. So we got 2 more. I definitely want one to come here. I'm going to trim this a tiny bit. Gotta remember, we're going to put our bow right here. This last one. So we got this here, 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 here. My eye tells me to put something here. This is my last peony head. I'm going to go ahead before I add these last fillers, and I'm going to add my bow so I can fill in around my bow if I need to. Let's go ahead and make our bow. So what I do is just start with a longer, really super long tail. And I'm going to make a large loop. This is going to be about an 8-inch loop. You're going to have your tail in the back, and you can twist that to make the pretty part show. Twist the front to make about a matching loop. I'm going to twist, and we're going to make a little bit smaller loop. So this is probably an 8-inch. This is more of a 6-inch. I'm going to twist, and I'm going to make a loop to where those match. I'm going to cut the top, this tail right here, and it's going to be the top of one of my tails. So this is what you're going to end up with. More of like an 8-inch loop and then a 6-inch loop, a long flowy tail, and then the tail at the top is a shorter tail. So I'm going to just go ahead and take some wreath wire. This is a braided thick wreath wire. I'm just going to put it right in the middle. And we're going to just hold it tight, and we're going to just take it and we're going to twist it. And then we're going to feed this through the grapevine. Like that. I'm going to add it right here where we know we need this, and we're going to feed this through the grapevine. Alright, so we got this through, and I'm going to go ahead and just twist it. Don't pull it too tight. You don't want your bows to pucker. Look how pretty that is already. I love that. Just pull your tail to go that way. Make sure your ribbons are facing the right way. And then I am going to do my candy bow. I'm going to leave a little tail right here. I'm going to wrap it around my finger. We're going to twist it tight to my finger. We're going to make a loop. And we're going to twist. And we're going to make another loop. Pull it off my finger. Make sure my tails are flowing the right way. Here, let me do it this way. I want my smaller tail going up, and I want my longer tail going down, like that. And we're going to do the same exact thing with this wreath wire. Just feeding it through This floral wire, you could get it at any of your craft stores. I'm going to put it evenly, and I'm going to twist. And then we're going to put it in on top of the one that I just put in there. We're just going to layer these ribbons. We're just going to pull it to where it lays on top of the other ribbon, and just pull it tight enough to where it just layers on there nicely, and don't pull it super tight, but tight enough. I'm just twisting it, and I love how that looks. And then I'm going to take my tails and we're going to fold it, and we're going to just cut them upward. And this is really long. I like it even flowing. You could keep it flowing, or you could just take this and you can, I love it also waterfalled in there. So I am going to take a zip tie, and I'm going to use a baby zip tie to just take one of the picks right here. This is one of the stems of the cream pick, and I'm just going to zip tie this to that. If you have floral pins, you could use a floral pin as well. The wooden floral pin. So I love how that is. So now we have these last 4 pieces, and then we'll be done. So we're going to push this all the way up. We'll trim this a little bit. I'm going to work this around my bow. Definitely need something on the inner right here. And now push this one up. I'm going to leave this one long, so we can go from the bottom. I'm going to add this kind of where we just waterfalled that ribbon. I do like to do that to kind of cover up my mechanics of a zip tie or floral wire or anything like that. So I got 2 more pieces, and I'm gonna leave this long so I could do coming from the top, like right here. And then we got 1 more piece, and then we'll be done. I like it just peeking out the top right there. So we have 1 here. We had 4 pieces of this filler that came off the peony bush. So we got 1 here. We got 1 here. We have 1 here, and I want 1 coming on the outside of my bow. So I'm gonna push up my florals and my greenery, and I'm gonna trim it a little bit, but I still want to leave some length on it to kind of come out the outside. Y'all, you could sell so many of these as a multiple, I feel sure. If you wanted to offer it also as a monogram, I wanted to show you. You can order these vine monograms off of Etsy. But like, look how pretty that would be just to add a letter to that. You could use a sign there if you wanted to, but this is these vine letters, I just spray paint them, and they make really good sellers. So everybody wants a monogram wreath, right? So I love how this turned out. I hope that this inspired you, and let's go ahead and I'm going to trim up the back. So you want to make sure, I like to, where I add my wires, I'm going to just take my needle nose pliers and twist this, you know, pretty tight, as tight as you can. And then trim off the excess. You want to make sure that it's not going to, you know, poke anybody, or make sure it's not going to scratch anybody's door. Just cover your mechanics the best you can and make it safe for your customer. Safe and professional. So make sure it's not rough, and that you could even glue a leaf back there or something if you want to. But that's what it looks like from the outside. Pretty simple. Yeah, I love that. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it inspired you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting Jennifer as well. See you guys later.